Conference, I am so honoured that you chose me to lead your party, and I know you share these values. And I am proud also that every day, day in and day out, in every village and every town, in every city across this land, you work to put these values into practice. Conference, can I thank you for the heroic work you did at the general election? The reason we denied the Conservative Party a majority was because of the incredible work of Labour Party members, trade union members and supporters, the length and breadth of this country. From Birmingham Edgbaston to Westminster North, and from Edinburgh South to the Vale of Clwyd, it was your dedication, your energy, your determination to fight for the communities you love that beat the Ashcroft millions, and I thank you for your work. And let me thank everyone, and not just Labour Party members, but thousands of ordinary members of the public who drove the British National Party out of Barking and Dagenham at the last general election. But let's face facts. We had a bad result. We had a very bad result, and we are out of government. And let me tell you, there is nothing good about opposition. Every day out of power, another day when this coalition can wreak damage on our communities, when we cannot change our country for the better. And let us resolve today, Conference, that this will be a one-term government. That is the purpose of my leadership. But to achieve that, we must go on our own journey. And that is why the most important word in politics for us is humility. We need to learn some painful truths about where we went wrong and how we lost touch. We must not blame the electorate for ending up with a government that we don't like. We should blame ourselves. We have to understand why people felt they couldn't support us. We have to show we understand the problems people face today. Let me tell you, this will require strong leadership. It won't always be easy. You won't always like what I have to say, but you've elected me leader, and lead I will. This country faces some tough choices, and so do we. And we need to change. You remember, we began as restless and radical. Remember the spirit of 1997. But by the end of our time in office, we had lost our way. The most important lesson of New Labour is this. Every time we made progress, we did it by challenging the conventional wisdom. Think of how we took on the idea there was a public ownership solution to every problem our society faced. We changed Clause 4, we were right to do so. Think of how we emphasised being tough on crime was as important as being tough on the causes of crime. We were right to do so. Think of how we challenged the impression that we taxed for its own sake and we were hostile to business. We were right to change. And think also of that idea, of the way we challenged the idea of a male-dominated parliament with all women shortlists and made the cause of gender equality central to our government. We were right to do so. And the reason Tony and Gordon took on conventional wisdom in our party was so that they could change the country. I think sometimes we forget too easily what a radical challenge their ideas were to established ways of thinking about Britain and how they reshaped the centre ground of politics. They were reforming, restless and radical. The old way said that economic efficiency would always come at the price of social justice. With the minimum wage, tax credits, the New Deal, they said that was wrong. And I am so proud that our government lifted hundreds of thousands of children out of poverty, hundreds of thousands of pensioners out of poverty, and at the same time achieved the highest levels of employment in our history. The old way of thinking said that public services would always be second class, but we defied the conventional wisdom. You know, I come from a generation that suffered school lessons in porter cabins and crumbling hospitals. I tell you one thing, for the 18 years that lot were in power, they never fixed the roofs when the sun was shining. Our legacy is a generation for whom newly built schools and modernised hospitals are an everyday fact of life. I am proud of the fact that we did that, and I'm proud of something else too. Because, you know, we did save the National Health Service as we promised before the 1997 general election. The old way of thinking also said you couldn't change attitudes towards gays and lesbians. Let me tell you, last month I was in this great city at Pride, and it was an amazing experience. Because there weren't just thousands of people marching as part of Pride. There were thousands of people lining the streets in support of equality for gay men and women in this country. We did that. We changed attitudes in this country, and we should be proud that our commitment to equality means we have couples forming civil partnerships across the country and celebrating with their families and friends. Now, you know, the old thinking also told us, and it's hard to remember, but the old thinking also told us that the choice was either the breakup of the United Kingdom or Scotland and Wales run from London. We should be proud that Labour established the Scottish Parliament and the Welsh Assembly, and now they are settled parts of our Constitution. And we should make sure that after next May's elections, we re-elect Carwyn Jones as the First Minister in Wales, and we elect Ian Gray as the new First Minister in Scotland. And I am so proud that against all the odds we helped deliver peace in Northern Ireland, and it will be one of Tony Blair's great legacies to this country, and we owe him our gratitude for it.